Welcome, focused learners, to another explainer. Today, we're actually getting a little bit meta, We're going to use a beautifully crafted set of slides to teach you how to build your own beautifully crafted set of slides. It's really the ultimate guide to creating a presentation masterpiece, and we'll be moving you step by step from a totally blank canvas to a deeply impactful final project.
Okay, let's just quickly run through our roadmap for today. First, the core presentation philosophy. Next, mastering the basics. Then, AI and multimedia integration, followed by engaging your audience, and finally, submitting your final project.
So Section 1, the core presentation philosophy.
Before you even think about opening your software, you need a foundational mantra. Keep it simple, make it clear, and let your ideas speak. Honestly, this is the absolute cure for boring, overwhelming presentations. We've all seen them, right? The ones where someone tries to cram every single thing they know onto one slide, turning it into a massive wall of text. But look, your presentation is not a textbook. By keeping things simple and your message crystal clear, you give your big ideas the breathing room they actually need to make an impact.
And that leads us perfectly into this really critical mindset shift. Quote, a great PPT doesn't just show information, it tells a story. Think about it. If you're literally just listing facts, you could have just sent an email, right? Your slides are the visual backdrop to a narrative arc. You're actually guiding your audience on a journey from a problem through a process of discovery right down to the solution.
So what does that narrative journey actually look like? Well, you're basically moving your audience through 4 distinct phases. It starts at the beginning with a specific challenge. That's your mountain to climb. Then it moves into discovery, where you reveal the core insight or the big key idea. Next up is the journey, where you lay out the exact action steps needed to progress. And finally, you reach the summit, the impact, the ultimate success. You aren't just presenting data, you are connecting with your viewers and really inspiring them to act.
Moving right along to Section 2, Mastering the Basics.
Okay, now that we have our story-driven philosophy locked in, it's time to roll up our sleeves. Building your visual canvas really boils down to 4 super essential steps. Step 1 is selecting a background theme from the Design tab. Step 2 is adding a text box so you can actually type your content. Step 3 is making sure you add clear titles to your slides to guide the reader. And Step 4 is including pictures to keep things visually engaging. It really is that straightforward to get moving.
So when you're actually inside the software, you'll find the Design tab up at the top of your ribbon to quickly apply a unified theme. Then you've got the Insert tab to grab that all-important text box and drop it onto your blank canvas. When it comes to titles, you want a clear hierarchy, like Introduction, Key Points, Conclusion. And finally, pictures. Whether it's a full background image or just some smaller icons, visuals are just completely non-negotiable for an effective presentation.
Now, I want to talk about a very specific number. 18. 18 is the magic number you need to keep in mind for this specific project. It represents the absolute minimum slide count requirement for your final assignment. Basically, if you have fewer than 18 slides, you just haven't fully fleshed out your story.
But here's the fun part. While we have a firm floor, we absolutely do not have a ceiling.
Minimum slides, 18. Maximum slides, infinity.
And this constraint is actually brilliant because it forces you to break your information down into bite-sized, easily digestible pieces instead of just cramming everything onto 5 slides. Spreading your ideas out gives you unlimited room to pace your narrative and let each individual concept truly shine.
Let's jump into Section 3, AI and multimedia integration. We've covered the basics, but now we're going to totally level up your workflow. Generating custom AI visuals is a real game changer, and it only takes 3 highly digestible sequential actions. First, you give ChatGPT a specific prompt detailing exactly what you want to see. Second, once it generates the perfect visual, you save that image. And third, you jump back into your presentation and insert that newly saved image right onto your canvas.
The whole pipeline is incredibly seamless. You just pop into the ChatGPT interface and use a prompt like generate an image of and add your specifics. Once the AI works its magic, you simply download the file. Then you hop over to PowerPoint, go straight to that Insert tab we talked about earlier, click Pictures, and drop your custom, stunning, AI-generated graphic right onto the slide. It's such an easy process, but it yields highly professional results. I mean, just think about the difference this makes. On one hand, you have the old way of doing things, boring text walls that literally put your audience to sleep. On the other hand, you have this new AI-empowered method, AI-enhanced visual storytelling. By utilizing custom graphics, you instantly elevate the perceived value of your presentation and reinforce that core philosophy we started with, letting your ideas speak visually.
All right, Section 4, engaging your audience.
Even with amazing visuals, we've got to keep the momentum going. A fantastic way to break up the rhythm of your own speaking is by dropping a dynamic video link right into the deck. Embedding a relevant video clip acts like a total palate cleanser for the brain. It shifts the sensory input, re-grabs the audience's attention, and honestly, it can often explain complex real-world examples way better than static text ever could.
But let me ask you a question. Beyond just showing them a video, how do you actively keep your audience awake? How do you ensure they aren't just passively watching, but are actually absorbing the information you're delivering? Well, interactive quizzes and immediate answers are a brilliant strategy for this. Imagine you're mid-presentation and suddenly you say, "Time to test what you know," and throw up a quiz. It immediately snaps the audience to attention because they're being challenged. But you don't just leave them hanging. You instantly follow up with the answers, rewarding their participation with a "great job" and the correct info. Pairing these two concepts absolutely forces the audience to engage in real time, cementing their learning and keeping the energy in the room incredibly high.
And finally, Section 5, submitting your final project.
All of this incredible work leads up to one ultimate goal, handing this assignment in successfully. To get full credit, you've got to follow this concrete step-by-step breakdown. First, open your email app, like Gmail. Second, email it to the exact address mindsetcoach2020@gmail.com. Third, format your subject line perfectly. Project assignment, your name. Fourth, make sure you actually attach your saved PPT file. And fifth, hit send.
So when you're drafting that email to Pradeep sir, make sure everything is perfect. Double-check the exact address in the to field. Ensure the subject line is formatted exactly right. Write a polite professional message in the body. And guys, this is absolutely crucial. Do not forget the paperclip icon. Make sure you actually click that paperclip to attach your 18+ slide masterpiece before you even think about clicking that blue send button.
And just as every great presentation should end, we want to express our gratitude. Thank you. Your time, attention, and support mean a lot. Always conclude your presentations by acknowledging the audience who took the time out of their day to listen to your story. You now have the philosophy, the tools, the AI shortcuts, and the engagement strategies to build something truly spectacular. You know the minimum constraints and the exact submission process. So I leave you with this one final exciting thought. What story will your next presentation tell? Get out there and start creating.